rasmi Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta anakuja kuziachilia rasmi magari yetu mawili, ambapo ni gari la kwanza la moshi linaloelekea Embakasi na vile gari la pili. Niombe kama nilivyoomba asubuhi, tuombe Mheshimiwa Rais nafasi. Let us not crowd tafadhali Mheshimiwa. Tuombe nafasi tu Mheshimiwa mwenyewe aende, wengine mtumie nyuma.
Kidogo tu.
Kidogo pia sote kumpongeza kwa makofi atakapokuwa akiachilia makofi. Ndio mkubwa mzuri. Riki na marafiki sote
hata ndio nashangaa huyo mzee chini. Haya, ambia mheshimiwa. Excuse me. Where's the flag? Flag. Where's the flag?
ya kuwa na sehemu ya duka ndogo, ukipenda kiosk, ambapo wataweza kuwa na wauzia wasafiri angalau kitu cha kuweka mdomoni. It's Lease Award Certificate ambayo hivi sasa Mheshimiwa Rais anamkabidhi Bwana John Nderu, na naona akimshukuru Mheshimiwa Rais kwa furaha. Mheshimiwa Rais naona ameamua kununua maji ya kunywa angalau akate kiu. Ni jukumu la kuwapa nafasi viongozi wachache. Tusimame sote sasa tumkaribishe Mheshimiwa Rais tafadhali, na atakapokuwa akijiunga nasi tumkaribishe kwa makofi. Karibu sana Mheshimiwa Rais, ujiunge nasi katika sherehe hii ya leo. Walio na kofia ambazo si rasmi tuweze kuzitoa tunapojiunga nasi Mheshimiwa Rais. Tumkaribishe kwa makofi mabibi na mabwana anapojiunga nasi Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta katika sherehe ya siku ya leo. Karibu Mheshimiwa Rais. Karibu sana saa. Tuweza kuketi kwa ruhusa yako Mheshimiwa Rais. Nitaomba nimwalike waziri wetu wa barabara Bwana James Macharia ili aweze kukukaribisha Mheshimiwa Rais. Karibu waziri.
Your Excellency, Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta, President of the Republic of Kenya, and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, fellow Cabinet Secretaries present, and senior government officials, county and national leaders present, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, this is another historic day when we yet achieve another major milestone, particularly in our urban transport in Kenya. Your Excellency, you recall exactly 3.5 years ago, we launched the intercity train from Mombasa to Nairobi. That was Madaraka Day in 2017. Before then, Your Excellency, Kenya had waited for 122 years for a major investment to be done. Today, Your Excellency, is another historic day because we are launching not intercity, but intra-city railway system. And this also, Your Excellency, has waited 100 years to be done. Your Excellency, under your leadership, all these key milestones are being witnessed, which indeed are very historic. This intra-city facility which you have launched today, we will see what we call the diesel multiple units, modern modes of transport, like you see in developed countries. You go to Europe, the US, East Asia, this is what you see. And so for us, Excellency, it's a day of pride. I think they showed you the pictures how this station used to look like in 1900. Indeed, Your Excellency, in 1900, there was nothing else in the city of Nairobi except this station. Now you can see, Excellency, the way it has been refurbished. We can have pride. The residents of city of Nairobi can be proud to have this. Before I welcome you, sir, let me acknowledge some of our key partners who have been working with us. Let me start with the World Bank, who have supported us in 3 things. Number 1, they funded the preliminary studies to do the master plan. And secondly, Excellency, we have this government of Spain, which helped us to procure these diesel multiple units. And today with us here, we do have the Spanish ambassador to Kenya. Thank you, Excellency, for coming to witness this key event. And lastly, we also would like to thank the French government, because, Excellency, we are revamping this line from here to Syokimau, which is the terminal for SGR. And then from SGR, going across the bridge, Mombasa Road, to go to the airport itself. So we'd like to thank our partner as well. Lastly, Excellency, let me appreciate the fact that we've been working in a multi-sectoral environment. We have key agencies in government, like NMS, who have worked with us, and we have General Bud here with us. Excellency, Kenya Railways, they have worked day and night to make sure this happened. I was just whispering to the President as we were walking along that this station looks like what you see King's Cross in London. And this is a matter of pride for us, Your Excellency. Let me thank other agencies and stakeholders who have worked with us, Nairobi County, but also the Labor Union, Your Excellency, led here by Brother Francis Atwori. Because we are doing this work because of the workers of Nairobi. They will have very seamless ways of transportation, and we appreciate the support given to us so far. And with those remarks, let me now take this opportunity and privilege to invite His Excellency the President to make his remarks. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Let me say what a pleasure it is to join you today as we take another important step towards achieving our national goals as set out in our Vision 2030. The enhancements that we are launching today are a key milestone within our long-term strategy for an integrated mass transport plan for Nairobi and indeed all other urban areas of Kenya. While our cities have undergone enormous change in infrastructure, as manifested by the dramatic change in Nairobi's skyline in the last decade in particular, our transport sector has exhibited far less growth and diversification. Indeed, our investment in integrated mass transit is informed by the various transport challenges that our citizens continue to face in urban areas. Indeed, it is estimated that the value of time lost to travel in Nairobi, as an example, is between 80 million and 400 million shillings per month, with congestion costing the country about 50 million shillings daily. Needless to say, this loss in productivity has impacted adversely the growth of our economy, and it is estimated that as a country we lose in excess of Kenya shillings 100 billion every year. Indeed, the current over-reliance on road transport has also negatively impacted on our environment, and in studies on climate change and environmental impacts indicate that the transport sector produces about 15% of Kenya's total greenhouse gas emissions, and that 39% of Kenya's total CO2 emissions are generated by road transport. Accordingly, improving urban transport and mobility in Kenyan cities not only has economic benefits to the nation as a whole, but is also a key pillar in environmental protection and mitigating climate change. Therefore, by diversifying our urban transport solutions and giving commuters the option of faster and cheaper travel by rail, we will reduce the number of motor vehicle trips and thereby save Kenyans not only time and money, but also enhance air quality in our Kenyan urban areas. It is gratifying for me that today we are seeing the first fruits of our efforts to achieve these broad aims through the unveiling of commuter rail services across 10 stations in the Nairobi metropolitan region, operating trains, and these DMUs will create a new commuter experience that will be faster, much more affordable, and reliable. The stations on our new scheduled commuter rail service will provide enhanced transport in high-density residential areas of Ruto, Mweki, Embakasi Village, Athi River, Kikuyu, Kahawa, Githurai, Dandora, Pipeline, and Donholm. These stations will soon be served by 11 DMUs, of which 5 are being commissioned today. With the introduction of these improved commuter rail services, I believe our hard-working citizens in the metropolitan area will have access to alternative forms of public transportation, and they will be served in stations that have modern ticketing systems, adequate parking, improved security, and better road access. It is also worth noting, ladies and gentlemen, that no journey will take more than an hour from these stations to or from the CBD, even during peak hours, when traffic congestion on roads consigns many travelers to spending many hours in gridlock. The service will have day-long hourly train services to and from these stations, giving our commuters greater flexibility in terms of their travel schedule. The new commuter rail network will also be integrated with a bus rapid transport system that will connect the Nairobi Central Station with existing matatu and commuter bus termini. To enhance services for commuters, we have also invested in the rehabilitation of this Nairobi Central Station, the refurbishment of access roads to the station, and improvement of the railway infrastructure at the station. Additionally, the Nairobi Metropolitan Services is almost finishing the construction of the Green Park Terminus, where all matatus currently operating at the Central Railway Station will be transferred to, with an additional alternative terminus being availed at the Workshop Road Terminus located at Desai Road and Park Road. Kenya Railways has acquired some high-capacity buses to provide the last mile and last mile connections for commuters, commuter rail passengers, and these buses will be stationed at Nairobi Central Station to provide transport services to and from industrial area, Upper Hill, Westlands, Parklands, and Pangani. It is also important to note that the commuter rail passengers from these new stations will also have access to the standard gauge railway line from the Nairobi terminus to the Ongata Rongai and Ngong stations. Additionally, the connection from the Nairobi Central Station to the Nairobi terminus will provide commuter rail passengers convenient access to long-distance travel on the Madaraka Express to and from Mombasa and Suswa. In the next 1 year, this scheduled commuter rail service will be extended to Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, allowing air travelers an alternative mode of transport to and from the airport without suffering the frustration of being caught up in the Mombasa Road traffic jam. While this extension is being constructed, high-capacity buses will be stationed for the time being at Embakasi Village Station to provide direct transportation services to and from the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. By investing in an integrated transport network in our cities and growing urban areas, we are not only giving citizens affordable and accessible pathways to conduct their business and social activities, but we are also creating additional pathways for employment and economic development. Indeed, international experience shows that investment in transit can yield 50,731 jobs per 100 billion invested and offer a 4-to-1 economic return. The investment undertaken so far in upgrading the commuter rail stations within the Nairobi metropolitan region, investments in access roads, including the non-motorized transport facilities, and creating integrated and modern ticketing systems that accommodates off-site booking purchases has cost us a total of 6.6 billion shillings. We are comforted by the fact that these investments have already yielded great fruits. During the construction of these 10 commuter rail stations, we have engaged an average of 50 workers per day, culminating in over 180,000 direct jobs created and over 700,000 indirect jobs. Furthermore, the maintenance and upkeep of these stations was and will continue to be undertaken by the Kazi Mtaani youth, who are able to contribute to the public good while at the same time gaining daily wages for works undertaken. In addition, with the completion of these projects, we should see the renewal of townships that had endured decades of reduced economic activity. As we unveil commuter services to these stations, we are creating additional revenues for future commercialization and much-needed local economic recovery in areas whose vast potential still remains untapped. We are committed as an administration to leveraging on the Nairobi Metropolitan Area Transport Authority and the Nairobi Metropolitan Services to provide maximum value to citizens through cooperation and synergies with Kenya Railways and other agencies. Together, they have created an innovative and harmonized mass transport plan anchored on sound land use planning and giving emphasis and priority to public transport and non-motorized transport. This mass transit plan, which is currently being implemented in phases, provides dynamic solutions to the challenges of congestion, limited alternatives for mass transit, and the negative environmental impacts arising from our heavy reliance on road transportation. Namata has now gazetted 12 mobility corridors, out of which 7 are the core trunk mass rapid transport commuter rail corridors connecting Limuru, Gongtown, Kenol in Murang'a, Kiambu, Ruai, Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, and Konza City. The remaining 5 comprise the rapid bus transport corridors along Line 2, which have now been contracted, and works on them will begin soon. We are working towards ensuring that these corridors are secured in law, and this will ensure that future expansion of the transport network will be done more easily and at a much reduced cost. On its part, Kenya Railways will continue to expand its network and services through the operationalization of the remaining 6 DMUs, and an additional 20 mini train stations have been designed and will soon be constructed along the Ruiru, Kikuyu, and Embakasi lines. These additional stations will increase services to citizens allowing commuter passengers to increase from an average of 15,000 per day to 40,000 passengers per day. Upon further investment in additional locomotives, rolling stock, and infrastructure improvement, such as additional track lines, we expect that number to rise to an average of 130,000 passengers per day. The NMS, in conjunction with the Kenya Urban Roads Authority and Namata, is working also on enhanced traffic management through the rehabilitation and reintroduction of synchronized traffic lights across the city. NMS will construct a traffic management center at City Cabanas that will utilize traffic cameras, sensors, and anonymized location data to provide synchronized signals at 100 new junctions in addition to the existing traffic lights, as well as redesigning and signalizing 25 additional intersections. Beyond the expansion of motorized public transport, our integrated transport plan proposes to offer safer alternatives for citizens to move around the city by non-motorized means. The NMS is implementing the non-motorized transport master plan which was developed as part of the Nairobi Urban Mobility Plan. NMS has constructed an elaborate network of footpaths interconnecting various transport termini and the CBD, and established footpaths within the CBD, improved bus and matatu termini, as well as secure bicycle parking within the CBD, matatu termini, and the Nairobi Central Station to complement its development of bicycle lanes and cycle paths across the city. So, ladies and gentlemen, today marks a new dawn for transportation in our metropolitan area. The enhancements that we are launching today are not abstract. They will have very tangible, real-life benefits for our citizens living in Nairobi and its environs, and also for the rest of Kenya. Dreams will be empowered, businesses will be revived and prosper, travel, connectivity, and enterprise will all be made easier, and unique concerns of persons living with disabilities will be better addressed. In concluding my remarks, I want to thank each and every agency that delivered these momentous improvements to life in the metropolitan area, as well as the private sector players and our development partners for their support. Through the vision, hard work, and commitment of all, Nairobi and the rest of Kenya will derive immense benefits. Through these and other efforts towards the regeneration of life in our beautiful capital city, I believe will be much improved for all her residents, and Nairobi's status as the gateway and hub for East and Central Africa will be fortified. We have reason to be proud of Nairobi, the green city in the sun, for its leading the way in Africa in creating a modern, vibrant city where public transport and business enterprise solutions are delivered at superb value for money and in line and in an environmentally conscious manner that improves the living experience of all our residents of Nairobi as well as those of our visitors. Mimi sitaki kuongeza zaidi, nataka tu kuwashukuru wale wote ambao tumekuwa tukifanya kazi na wao haswa wakati huu mgumu. Nataka kushukuru wafanyikazi wa Kenya Railways, nataka kuwashukuru wafanyikazi wa NMS, nataka kuwashukuru wafanyikazi wale ambao wamekuwa wakifanya huu ujenzi, na nataka ile ahadi niliwapatia nitakuja kuwachinjia baada ya sio kazi hii peke yake, lakini pia ile ingine ambayo tumeshuhudia pale ya kufungulia wafanyikazi au wafanyabiashara wetu wadogo mahali ambapo mizigo yao wataweza kuja kuchukua bila shida na bila tabu. Na pia vile tumesema, tukishamaliza kazi hii ya kurekebisha yetu kutoka hapa kwenda Nyanyuki, kutoka hapa kwenda Nakuru na Kisumu mpaka Malaba, kutoka hapa kwenda Mbale ya River, kutoka hapa kwenda Ngong, kutoka hapa kwenda Kikuyu. Hii shughuli itawezesha Wakenya kufanya biashara kwa njia rahisi, kutembea kwa njia rahisi, na nataka niwahakikishie wote ambao wako katika sekta hii ya transport wasione ya kwamba kuna kazi ambaye mtu yeyote anatolewa. Tunataka kuona vile Kenya Railways watafanya kazi na sako zetu za matatu. Hatutaki mtu yeyote akose kazi. Ni kusaidiana, tunasaidiana, ni kushughulikia mambo haya tukiwa kitu kimoja, na tuhakikishe ya kwamba tumeweza kupatia wananchi wetu huduma bora, huduma ya kisasa na huduma ambayo itarahisisha biashara zao. Nimalize kwa kusema Mimi sina mashindano na mtu yeyote. Mimi naambia wote, njooni tuungane, tujenge Nairobi, njooni tuungane, tujenge Kenya yetu, tuboreshe maisha ya wananchi wetu, kwa sababu hiyo ndio jukumu wa Kenya walitupatia. Kwa hayo machache na mengi, nasema Mungu awabariki, Mungu awalinde. Asanteni sana. Thank you very much.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Rais. Kabla ya kuachilia rasmi magari ya moshi, Mheshimiwa Rais nitamwomba kwa heshima ataingia kwenye chumba rasmi, yani holding room, kwa dakika chache tunapowaelekeza wasafiri kwenye gari la moshi. Mheshimiwa Rais ataingia kwenye holding room kidogo, kwa hivyo wengine tutulie tu Mheshimiwa Rais anapopata nafasi ya dakika chache tunapowaelekeza
niombe wale wanaenda na train ya mwisho, ni wale wako na card ile niko nayo, waende waingie. Wale tunaenda na train ya kwanza na ya pili tuweze kuingia sasa. Wafanyikazi wa Kenya Railways, we have an opportunity to enter the first and the second train. Tuingie so that we are able to move. Tuingie kwenye train so that we are able to move. Kindly. Wafanyikazi wa Kenya Railways, ya kwanza na ya pili ni yetu. Wale wageni wetu 60 twende kwa ile ingine. Wacha kucheza mziki, ngoja tunatangaza. Asante kwa heshima.